Hi, everyone. Welcome to another inspiring conversation celebrating talented professionals who know how to connect with people, command a stage, and create unforgettable experiences. Today, we shine the light on Sonia Suchand, a talented program director and event MC whose vibrant personality, communication skills, and passion for event entertainment have made her a compelling presence in the industry. In this conversation, Sonia takes us behind the microphone to explore her journey into event hosting, the art of engaging diverse audiences, the importance of confidence and preparation, and what it really takes to keep an event flowing with energy and purpose. We'll also discuss event marketing, handling unexpected moments on stage, adapting to changing audiences, and advice for aspiring MCs, speakers, and event professionals. Get ready for an eventful and energetic conversation with Sonia Suchman. Hi, Sonia.
Hi, Sid. I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. It's nice to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
You're most welcome. So, Sonia, before we talk about the microphone and the stage, who is the woman behind the MC and program director, and what first inspired you to enter the world of events and entertainment?
Okay, so I actually like this question because I'd like to take you back to my youth, and I'm talking primary school, maybe grade six, grade seven. And there was a girl who couldn't even say a speech to 17, 18 classmates. I battled to speak because I
Wow.
don't know, I had this nervousness and I just didn't want to do it. And eventually, as I grew, um, in my family life, we'd always have like events and parties and things, small ones at home. And there was always one person that had to announce for the speakers or play the games. And initially, it was my mom. She was a drama student. And there was a stage where she was like, okay, no, why don't you just take over? It's very simple, do this and this. And from then, I actually started coordinating family functions. And the functions got bigger and bigger. Like, first was maybe 10 people, then 15, and more and bigger. And that's where I actually grew confident. But there was a turning point when I was in grade 11. And I said this, it was a speech. Like, you know how you have your prepared and unprepared speeches. So this was a prepared speech. And I did like this whole act. It was on confidence, actually. And I was actually very nervous giving the speech. But I gave it, and my teacher was so impressed that I got a letter to go to India to represent the school. And that's where I felt like, you know what, I think I do have a talent. I think I should use it more and, not be afraid, just keep on doing what I'm doing. So that's how I got, and I actually did go to India, by the way, to
Wow.
represent the school. I came back with a third place trophy. Um, and then, yeah, I would say that's my turning point for actually getting into events. From the families and friends, it grew to people who I didn't know. And people started reaching out to me asking, am I available on this date for this function? And I said, you know what, why not? Let me continue doing this. And my fiance also has played a good role in my emceeing because he has a sound company. So he also opened doors for me, introduced me to more people, and also, what can I say? He just pushed me to grow in this field. And he said, don't stop.
That's beautiful. It's nice that you mentioned about your experience as an MC because there's actually a comment question regarding that. This was from Resh Chitan. Hi, Sonia. Your first experience as the MC, were you nervous or brave? I think you did mention you were nervous, but I think you were also eventually brave, if I can assume that correctly.
Yeah, I would say initially nervous, but then in the back of my head, I was like, you know what? You can do this, you can do this, you've done it before, it's the same thing. So there was nervousness, but when once I get into it, then the nervousness is gone and I feel more brave. And even my dad also played a good role in that. We always told us, you can be whatever you want to be, you can do whatever you want, and don't set a limit on yourself.
Hmm.
So yeah, I had good role models around me.
Awesome. What was your journey like from your early experiences in the industry to becoming a confident and sought after event MC and program director?
Okay, so in my early days, okay, call it like when I was like maybe 15 or 16 years old, which
Mhm.
was when I was doing like, more family functions. But there was a few outside people, but it was mostly family functions. And from there, I actually figured like this is what's working, this is what's not working. And that actually assisted me in growing. Like, okay, the crowd enjoyed this, I'll keep this. The crowd didn't respond so well to this, I'm going to throw it out. And I feel like now I have a good system whereby I have like program templates and I run it through my clients. And I feel like I've polished my act and I have like quite a few different things to slot in there. Yeah, I would say all the mistakes that I made before helped me to grow.
Awesome. Being an MC is much more than simply introducing speakers. What do you believe are the key qualities that make someone an exceptional event host?
So actually, this is an important question. I feel they need to read the room. They need to know who their audience is. And
Mm.
I actually do this before. People think they have this misconception that MCs start their job when they say, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen." And that is not true at all. It starts, I would say, even weeks or months before when they meet the client. You can even ask your
Wow.
client, who is attending. I even ask my clients sometimes, where is your guest from? And maybe they'll say somebody's from Johannesburg. So I know in the back of my head, I'm going to say something about Johannesburg in that event. And when I'm at the event, before I can even start speaking, I look around. Sometimes I'll even walk up to the table to introduce myself, do some small talk. So by the time I actually step on stage and do my good evening and all that, I already know who's at the tables, who wants to speak, who wants to be there, and who are the shy people.
Ah, that's very insightful. Every audience is different. How do you read a room and adapt your energy, personality, and communication style to keep an audience engaged?
Okay, so I actually do a wide range of functions, but I'm going to specifically talk about birthdays. So I do sweet 16s, 21st
Okay.
birthdays, 50th birthdays, even 70th birthdays, and everyone has different audience types. So sweet 16, I know uh, I can't involve any drinking games because everyone, like,
Hmm.
the birthday girl 16s will keep it 16 rated. If it's a 21st birthday, sometimes they want me to play like, I don't know if you've heard of the Among Us game where there's 6 shooters. One is alcohol, the five is water. But
Okay.
that's a game that's popular for that age group. But I won't
Mhm.
go and play that at a sweet 16 and I won't play it at a 50th birthday. So 50th, I've got to be, what can I say? I need to connect with the audience a
Respectful.
little bit more. Yeah, more respectful. I can go into the audience and, speak to the older people and the younger people
Mm.
because I just need to, and I've actually been told that I bring some sort of warmth to the function. So I feel like with the 50th and even beyond, I can connect to the older generation as well as the younger generation.
I'm sure. Then what would you normally do for a wedding?
So there's different types of weddings. There's your Hindi wedding, your Tamil, and your Christian. Very, very different, extremely different. Your Hindi wedding, you need to be on your feet the entire time. The energy is very high. So you yourself need to have such high energy to match the
Mhm.
room because it's a happy function. Everyone is happy-go-lucky and they're wanting to
Mm.
stand up and dance. So I include a lot of dancing games in the reception, making sure everyone is having a good time, from the drunk uncles to the cousins, and it's just a ball. With the Tamil functions, it's a bit more reserved. Sometimes there's not always a reception. So I'll just do the wedding part, the formalities, and it's a little bit more serious. So not so much jumping up and making a noise. With Christian weddings, it's also similar to the Hindi, I would say, that vibe.
Oh,
So I don't do the chapel part of it most of the time. It's more reception. So the reception for that and the reception for the Hindi wedding is quite similar, I feel. Um, in terms of like the segments that I include, because you've got your speeches and you've got your games, your crowd interaction. So yeah, I look at it like that. Sid, are you still online? What was the last thing you heard? Then I'll fill you in.
I know you were saying something about the Christian wedding being similar to the Hindi wedding in terms of the reception or something like that.
Yeah, in terms of the reception, I'm talking about energy level wise.
Mhm.
Um, Not really the aspects involved in it, but energy level. They also want that high energy, and you've got to
Mm.
match that kind of energy. But the receptions are more or less the same in terms of you've got your speakers, your dancing games. You can mix and match and play around with it, but energy level must be really, really high for those two events.
Awesome. As a program director, how do you approach planning the flow and energy of an event so that every segment feels connected and keeps the audience interested?
Okay, so this is the secret in the program. So it's planned weeks or months before the function even happens. And I mostly like to break up my speeches and my games. So I'll put a speech, then maybe I'll put a game or a speech and crowd interaction. So everyone is, awake throughout the entire function. Whether if it's a speaker, sometimes people can go on and on with these speeches. So straight after, if I do an energetic game, automatically everybody is awake again.
What role does event marketing play in creating a successful event, and what are some strategies you believe organizers often overlook?
Okay, this is an interesting question. So this is more for public events. So I'll also do marketing for public events. Basically, you've got to start months before the event actually starts. So I run campaigns for some people maybe 3 months in advance. There was one job I took where we only did it 2 weeks before the function, and I told the person, um, we're taking a chance here, but we're going to try our best. Um, as well as paid ads, that it kind of helped us, but obviously the time limit. I feel like that's what organizers tend to overlook. You need to start months in advance, because if somebody needs to see the ad and they need to keep on seeing it to make it stick in their head. Like there's so many ads that you see on TV, but maybe the first time you see it, you won't go out and purchase it. Maybe the sixth or even seventh time you see it, you're like, I've seen this before. You're starting to trust it. And that's when you actually take the action and do something about it. So initially, your event marketing strategy is just exposure. You're just getting the word out there. When you're actually closer to the event, that's where the actions actually happen.
Live events rarely go exactly according to plan. Can you share an experience where something unexpected happened on stage and explain how you handled it professionally?
Something unexpected. Okay, actually, I did this birthday. It was a 21st birthday. It was actually really fun. I actually really enjoy the birthdays. But our DJ was late. So our event's
Oh,
supposed to start at 6. And I attend a function maybe half an hour to 45 minutes in advance. If it's a further location, I try to go there an hour before in case, I take a wrong turn or anything. So it's supposed to start at 6, and the DJ only got to the venue at 6. So in the meantime, I didn't panic. I actually walked around to the tables, got to know everyone. Like no music was playing, but I just filled in that gap and tried to make like the guests comfortable. And then we see Mr. DJ come in, and he's busy setting up all his speakers.
fascinating. Your presence and charisma are important parts of your work. How do you prepare yourself mentally and emotionally before stepping onto a stage in front of a large audience?
Um, let's see. I want to separate this question between private events and public events. So, a
Sure.
private function, I feel it's easier mentally to go to the function only because the audience that's there is going to be engaged. They're there for the same reason that you are there for the
Mm,
birthday or the wedding. Like they automatically more engaged in the
mm,
public event. So, if you have that in the back of your mind, like these people want to be here. So, you
mm,
might as well just be confident and, be a part of the room and just make everyone enjoy themselves. And with the public event, it's a little bit different. It's a bit more tricky because not everyone is there to watch the show or watch what you're trying to perform. Sometimes people are there to walk around. If it's a shopping event, they're there to shop. Or if there's food, they're busy eating, having a fat conversation. So they're not 100% focusing
engaged.
on what you're saying. So you've just got to read the room. Sometimes I'll walk between the tables, and if I can see a table everybody's busy eating, I won't necessarily go to the table because I don't want to disturb, I don't want to intrude. But if I do see a table that's maybe conversing with themselves, I'll butt in and I'll talk to them. Or even if they're watching the stage, I know it's a green light for me to go and speak to them. So that's the difference between the two.
I guess you got to be a person that actually goes with the flow if you're going to be in your type of field. You can't just be like robotic.
Yeah, that's important. Reading the room, adjusting yourself to different situations, even when things are going wrong,
Hmm,
continue.
awesome. In an increasingly digital world where audiences are also engaging through live streams and social media, how do you think the role of an MC is evolving?
So let's see. So MCs, I feel it's not restricted to in-person events. You can even be a speaker online. So
Wow.
that's where social media comes in. I think COVID also had a lot to play, play a part in that, because they let everyone have calls such as like this, and there was one speaker, so that person was basically the MC because they're coordinating the entire um, what can I say, the live stream. But in terms of the marketing aspect, it's I would say specifically TikTok that turned a lot of people's businesses. Most of my inquiries actually come through TikTok, and it's been like an easy gateway because your content's being shown to people who show interest in the type of content that you're producing. So if they're interested in events and public speakers, my content will automatically come on their feed. So it's a big plus, I would say.
Fascinating. Lastly, finally, for aspiring MCs, speakers, and event professionals watching this conversation, what is the one piece of advice you would give them about finding their voice, building their confidence, and creating a lasting impression?
I would say uh, don't wait for opportunities to come to you. You must grab the opportunities. You can even create your own opportunities. Like I didn't wait for someone to come up to me and say, you can be an MC now, whatever. I just started doing it, and I continue to do it, and I'm still building on the skill. And I do my own marketing as well, so I'm trying to create new opportunities for myself. And another piece of advice I would tell people looking want that sorry people that are wanting to come into this field, don't have imposter syndrome or try and fight it, because when I did start initially, in the back of your head you have, maybe I can't do this, somebody can do it better. Just block all of that negative talk and self self talk and say good things to yourself, and you'll actually radiate that same confident and energy that you saying to yourself. Like, be kind to yourself.
Beautiful. Sonia, thanks so much for your time, and hopefully the next time we chat, I won't have that glitch with the internet.
Thank you so much, Sid. It was such an honor to be on your channel. I love what you're doing here. You bringing just shedding a light on such inspiring people. I did watch it. Thank you.